Stop telling people you know how to fix things, because then you're going to spend the rest of your life at Home Depot. So I've been back in Ohio for a little over a week. I've been in 4 people I know's houses so far. 3 of them have had toilet problems. I was able to fix 2 of them. Let's go over what these most common problems are. Actually glued the tops on. In the first house, the toilet kept running. This tank just kept filling up with water, which this could happen for a few different reasons. Now, if you notice, in the middle of these toilets, they're pretty much all the same. There's a little spout, and water actually can overflow and go down it, and that's what was happening because of this fill valve. You see, this valve, it's like a float, and when it fills up with water, it makes this float higher and higher until it makes it stop. Now, in that situation, this screw wasn't set properly, so water would just fill up the tank and keep going over the overflow and draining. So all we had to do was turn this screw down. I looked like David Blaine, and that solved the problem. Now, sometimes that tank might keep running because the flapper isn't sealing properly in the tank. So you see, you got to get a good fit. Now, in the second house, water was leaking out of the toilet between the bottom of the toilet and the floor, and usually that's because a wax ring has failed over time. They make them without wax nowadays, but you can still get them with wax. Make sure you're getting the right thickness. This is where it was leaking right here. Now, the problem is when you lift these toilets up, you're going to see the flange, and there might be another surprise, as was the case in the second house. You see, the old flange was like this. It was rusted away. The place that holds the screw had fallen off, but it was also set up really high above the floor. So I had to use a flange adapter to go above that old flange to get the toilet back on. Now, in the third house, every time they flushed the toilet, they'd hear a gargle in the shower drain. Now, shower drain sinks, they have something called a P-trap, and this does 2 things. One, it keeps the sewer gas from getting into your house and smelling, but it also blocks and muffles the sound of things draining throughout the house. So maybe they didn't have a P-trap in that shower. Maybe the P-trap was having a trouble holding water. Maybe it was being siphoned for some reason, something to do with the vent. I don't know. I wasn't able to solve that one. Now, of course, I was just doing this out of the kindness of my heart, which is why I say,